Hey guys, I'm Priest, and this is another episode of Abusing the Meta. This is technically episode 2, and in this game we're going to be looking at a ZvT, and it's going to be a 2-base Roach Nydus. Play against CC first. Okay, let's jump into the game. Okay, so in this build we're going to be opening up 15 hatch, 16 pool. We're going to be playing pretty standard opener, and we're going to be scouting for a CC first. The reason that this build works is because a lot of Terrans are going CC first on ladder. It's kind of, I guess I could say it's more 50-50. It's some Reaper openings, some CC first, but you're seeing a lot more greedier openings from Terrans, especially on certain maps, just because Reapers aren't as effective anymore. Not because they've been nerfed or anything, just because Zergs are learning how to deal with it more. Okay, so before we drop our hatch or anything, we want to scout on 10. My finger was kind of messed up the last couple of days, so I wasn't able to play, so I got my teammate to do it for, the build for me on ladder. But he kind of messed it up a little bit, so it ends up working out, so it's not a huge deal. It's just still like 20 seconds off. You want to scout on 10. He scouted on 13. Luckily, it's horizontal positions on this map, or it turned out to be, rather. So it worked out. But you want to, on 4-player maps, 2-player, it's not a big deal. Depending on the map, you don't even need to drone scout, like on Belshire. But 4-player maps, you definitely want to drone scout on 10, just so you will be able to see what he's doing and get the build down from there. Okay, so in drone scout on 10, we're just going to assume this on 10, or just pretend that it's on 10. He sees the CC first. Great, we can do the build. Perfect. So 15 hatch, 16 pool, we're going to speed it up a little bit. And then the first thing you're going to do is drop your first gas at 3 minutes and 40 seconds. This will allow you to get out Lair really quick for your Nydus. And yeah, he actually paused there because he needed to check the build. He was telling me about that. We had a good laugh. Okay, so Lair first, and if you were to say drop your gas at 340 like you were doing the build, and because you forgot to drone scout, and you see that he's going racks first, you can get speed first, and it's still just fine against Reapers. So not a huge deal. You can kind of do it blind, but it's better to drone scout. Okay, so we're going to drop our first gas at 3 minutes and 40 seconds, make double queen, and then at 4 minutes and 40 seconds, he does a little bit late, but it's still fine. You're going to want to drop a second gas to get a lot of gas, because you're going to need it, and you want to drop a spine. The reason you drop a spine is because I have a lot of Terrans do Hellion aggression after a CC first. So you drop the spine just to ward off any sort of aggression, and the spine and the queen should be totally fine. Okay, so you want to clear out this SCV with the queens. You don't want him to see what you're doing. So we're just going to pretend like he's doing the build perfectly. So your second gas and your spine at 4 minutes 40 seconds. Your Lair starts at exactly 100 gas, and at 5 minutes and 35 seconds, 5:35, you're going to want to drop your Roach one. That will make it so that it finishes at exactly the same time as your Lair, so you can start pumping out Roaches immediately. Okay. You're also going to want to get a third gas at 5:45, 10 seconds after your Roach Warren. This is needed to get out maximum Roach production and to drop your Nydus. Okay. Also, as soon as you drop your Roach Warren and your third gas, you're going to typically, like after this wave of drones, you're going to want to stop droning for the most part and start making a lot of overlords. You're going to need them for your Roach Warren production as soon as your Roach Warren pops, because they do take up a lot of supply. Okay, so let's see what is next. As soon as your Lair finishes, you're going to want to drop a Nydus worm. However, Terrans typically scan the main at about 6:30 to 7, and that's when our Lair is going to be finishing, and we're going to be dropping our Nydus, and we don't want him to see it. If he sees it, he's going to know, and he'll probably, now in this game he went 3 CC, so he'll probably cancel that CC, or should, and he'll definitely be scouting for a Nydus, and it will make our build a lot harder to pull off. So, way to get around that, because some Terrans scan the nat, some scan the main, is we're going to have our overlord off of the creep, just chilling. So as soon as Lair finishes, he's going to poop creep, a drone is going to be ready in position, and he's going to drop the Nydus there, and the scan will actually miss it. It will work on all maps, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. Yeah, so it drops there. Okay, so we drop our Nydus as soon as our Lair finishes. We don't get Glow Reconstitution. We can actually fit it out. Start making roaches. And as soon as this finishes at about 7 minutes and 20 seconds, we're going to drop our little Nydus, hopefully into the main. This game actually, the Terran player sees it, but I guess he just didn't notice it. Okay, so we rally to our Nydus because we want to get them there as fast as possible. You can leave a couple roaches, like 1 or 2 here behind if you're worried about some heavy Hellion aggression. But with the Queen and the Nydus, it's not the hugest deal. Okay, so we put our roaches. See, the scan misses it completely. So we rally to the main, or to the Nydus, and then as soon as the Nydus finishes, we pop out. Now, what I've been doing is I've been taking my Queen from my natural, putting into my Nydus, and taking 2 drones. Because what you want to start doing is, I don't even inject here. I leave that inject, and I start spreading creep, and start making spines. Now, you don't have to play so all in with this build. This build will get you out about 15 to 16 roaches, and you can transition out and macro. However, he's going 3 CC and double engineering bay, so if we don't kill him and he does stabilize, he's going to be a lot better off tech wise. So if he's going that greedy, you're going to want to kill him. So we're just going to speed this up a little bit. He's going to pull his drones and his marines and make marauders, but it's too late. He can't do anything. There's just too many roaches, and with the reinforcements about to pop out, it's going to be GG here. So yeah, that's the build. It's pretty strong. We made it up ourselves, and I'm actually pretty proud of it. Okay, so let's just go over the build here one more time. So it is 15 hatch, 16 pool. You're going to want to drone scout on 4 player maps on about 10 supply, and some 2 player maps like Derelict Watcher. Your overlord won't get there as quickly as, say, Belshir and Aklon, so you might want to drone scout on like 13. Queen, 2 queens. Lair at the net are at the main at 100 gas. You're going to want to drop your 2nd gas and your spine at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. As soon as your Lair is partly finished at about 5:35, you're going to want to drop your Roach Warren, which will make it so that your Roach Warren and your Lair finish at the exact same time. You're going to want to drop your 3rd gas 10 seconds after that at 5:45. You want to have your overlords in position. Some maps it's harder to get than others. If you do have to drop your Roach Warren outside the front, you can. It won't be as effective, and you may not kill your opponent as quick, but it's still pretty good. Against CC first, it's still really good. So start your Nydus immediately, away from the original creep from your hatches. Your Nydus should finish at 7:20, and then your little worm should finish at 7:40, assuming that you do it perfectly. With the gas income, you should be able to fit out about 15 to 16 roaches at 8 minutes, and that's when... so it should be about 12 out of the Nydus as soon as it finishes, and then like 4 coming in afterwards, just like we saw here. Take 1 queen with you and spread creep, and then 2 drones to make spines. You don't have to, like I said, you can transition out and get a 3rd. However, with double Evo and 3 CC, it's pretty hard to transition out of it. You don't want to let him stabilize. He's gonna hit back pretty hard. So yeah, that's the build. He was telling me that he's had a lot of success against CC first with it. I personally haven't, because my finger is still still pretty messed up. I should be able to play tomorrow, so I will be working on another ZvZ build and hopefully a ZvP build. Thanks guys for watching. Appreciate it. If you want to follow me and all that stuff, and subscribe and like and whatever else it's called, I really appreciate it, and hopefully you come back soon and see more builds. Anyways, thanks. See ya.